Do you, Jay, over here, do you?
Oh, hi, Mark.
Can you win a series without winning the 5-on-5 game? And is that priority number one for the Oilers? Get control of this thing 5-on-5.
And priority one for us is to play our game tonight. And that's where our focus is. It's not worried about the series. It's not worried about anything other than playing our best game tonight. We think when we do play our best game, that all areas of that game get taken care of, whether that's shorthanded, whether that's power play, whether that's 5-on-5. Bottom line for us is we're looking for a complete 60 minutes in every single aspect.
When you broke down game 3, was it the kind of game where you're going to pick little things out of it and correct them, or was there just so much that went wrong that you just try to get back to your game here?
Well, a few things. Number one is you got to make sure you do your work, and that's something that our coaching staff takes a lot of pride in, is our process. Win or lose, we follow that process. We've been doing it for the last year and a half here in the NHL. When you do your work, I believe that that allows you to see things correctly or see things clearly. For us, there's things that can improve from our performance in game number 3. Nobody's happy with it, but at the same time, we're not dwelling on it. We're moving on, but we're moving on with the understanding that we've learned a lesson. We're moving on with the mindset to be prepared to execute heading into game number 4.
Hey, Jay. How you doing?
Hi.
I just want to ask you whether Zach Hyman and Matthias Janmark are available players for you today.
Oh, we'll see what comes out the gate tonight.
I want to ask you about also the 11-7 versus a 12-6, and how you kind of do you look at it as a sense of this is our team is better with this, or you look at it as the opponent and how we could match up better with them?
How I would look at it is I think having the flexibility to go either way makes us a dangerous team. It's part of the reason why we're in the position that we're in. We're playing hockey in the middle of May. We're one of 8 teams left in the National Hockey League, and the ability to do either one of those two things is a big factor in why we are sitting here today.
Jay, among the areas you said...
Yeah, I can hear you. It's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Among the areas you said there were many areas for improvement, specifically defense below the hash marks around your crease. What needs to be executed better to protect the crease?
That's one part of our game. There were numerous parts of our game that we weren't in love with a couple nights ago, and that's certainly one of them. What are we going to do to help correct certain areas? I'm not going to outlay that here in the media, but rest assured that we've worked hard in our meetings to make sure that we've called attention to the areas that we feel we need to be better in.
Jay, what qualities or makeup do you believe Stuart Skinner possesses that he will help you and your team lead its way to a Game 4 victory tonight?
Yeah, you know what? For me, and this goes to the earlier question on this side of the room over here, which is we're playing hockey here in the middle of May. It is there are 8 teams left in the NHL, and Stuart's a big part of the reason why we're in the position that we're in. Having seen him over the years, I see somebody who's calm. I see somebody who responds. I see somebody who has all the necessary tools to help a team win a hockey game.
And do you see any similarities what happened against LA that can be put forth against
Well, I think it's clear in game number 4 in the first period against LA, or game 3 in through 2 periods against Las Vegas. That's on the team. That's not on any one individual. And the bottom line is our team can be better.
Jay, does Zach Hyman's situation perhaps make up your mind as to whether you dress 12 forwards as opposed to 11 forwards if he dresses, but he's labored, and then you're down to 10 forwards for the rest of the game?
There's lots of things that go into lineup decisions, Jim. Another one. I can hear you, Jason.
Jay, in game I know you've talked a lot about, wearing down the opposition can be physical, but sometimes it can be them having to be physical on you because you have the puck more in the offensive zone.
Yep.
Vegas's D in the 2 wins dished out fewer hits than they did in the game 2 loss. Is that too simplistic way to look that you just need to spend more time in the offensive zone tiring out their defenders?
Well, I think the hockey that you're seeing now in the month of May, I've said that a few times here, but when there's 8 teams left and you watch the hockey that's being played, a lot of it comes down to territorial advantage. It becomes a turf war for zone time. And the teams that do it better are the ones that are probably on the receiving end of more of those hits or that stat that you're talking about. The bottom line is we can do a better job of establishing our game in the offensive zone. We didn't feel we did that last game. And it's one of the areas that can be cleaned up.
And one other one, early in that game, you actually had a lot of chances. Leon Draisaitl post or say whatever it was, and you mentioned the odd man rushes. You just missed some passes that maybe normally you wouldn't have. If you go back, were you still happy with the first period and what you generated, even though it didn't show up necessarily in the scoreboard? Do you want to continue a start like that?
Well, 3 games in a row we scored the first goal. That's a positive. I would say that we did have numerous chances to score, but I didn't love the way we were playing the game. So sometimes that's, doesn't tell the whole story. The other thing I believe is that when you're not on, which we clearly weren't in game 3, sometimes you don't convert or finish on those ones there. Did we have our chances? We had numerous odd-numbered rushes. We had 2-on-1s. We didn't convert on them. But in terms of the full 60 minutes, I know our team can play a much more complete game, a much more connected game. And that's what we're looking to do here tonight.
Jay, you look at your team even going back to the second half of the regular season, this isn't a team that loses consecutive games. I mean, what do you think goes into that where the bounce back effort is usually there for your club?
Yeah, I think we have a really strong leadership group on our team. Players who set the tone for the entire group. And the other thing I would say is that we have a lot of really good hockey players. A lot of players with pride, a lot of players that can find ways to impact games. And that's what we're looking for here tonight is a response. As I said, no one was happy with game number 3, but that was 48 hours ago. We're worried about making sure that we're at our best here tonight. And when we're at our best, we think we're a pretty dangerous team to handle. Thanks, guys.